Basically, yet another evidence has emerged of Turkey helping Pakistan in its military effort as it sought to respond to India's Operation Sindoor and the military destruction that our armed forces carried out inside of Pakistan. So first one was that Turkey supplied Pakistan with both surveillance and armed drones, and the company and its name was mentioned by our armed forces in their press briefings. And remember the waves of drone swarms that came in. The first day about 500, second day about 700, and then about 400, and then another small stream coming in day after day till it petered out post the ceasefire. But what is important is now evidence has emerged with our agencies, and we have been shared some information about it, which is that Turkey, while it supplied those drones, it also sent in staff, contractors who could help Pakistani forces maintain, or in some cases perhaps help them in firing those drone swarms. So while those two of those contractors were there at one of the launch pads from where those drone swarms were being launched, Indian forces struck that. We are not being informed as yet about the specific location, but what is important is that this has happened when Indian forces struck that launch pad, the UAV launch pad as it is called, from where those drone swarms were being launched. And this is in the southern part of Pakistan, possibly Sindh, and that's where those two Turkish nationals, perhaps civilian contractors, if not directly armed forces personnel, but connected with this drone company, they were there assisting the Pakistani armed forces. And when our strike happened, they also perished along with 4 or 5 of Pakistani soldiers. That's the information that we have, which effectively buttresses India's claim that Turkey has been militarily helping or has helped Pakistan in this latest episode. On the face of it, you can say that while India also uses French Rafales or Russian S-400s and Pakistan uses American F-16s, the fact of the matter is that this happened in the immediate aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. You had the Turkish Air Force chief coming in and meeting with his Pakistani counterpart. That happened in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. Then you had Turkey sending in a warship, a frigate, into the Arabian Sea, and it was docked into the Karachi port. And that really gives you an idea of the mindset of the Turkish establishment, that they want to be seen to be standing with Pakistan during a military conflict. And that's something which is obviously not in the interest of India-Turkey relationship, a glimpse of which was seen when national sentiment of anger really came out, and a lot of people decided that they should not be going to have vacations in Turkey, and trade bodies, associations decided that in whichever manner they can, they should taper off their business relationship also. Obviously, given the kind of sentiment that's there on the ground, there would be consequences for Turkey also, as they fancy themselves now. Under Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Turkey has been styling itself as the center of the new caliphate, in jousting with Riyadh and competing with Saudi Arabia. And in that they have found a very a beggar Pakistan, a sort of a pivot in South Asia. And so, for example, when the UNGA happens every year in New York, the United Nations General Assembly, it's Erdogan who does not fail to mention Turkey, apart from, of course, I beg your pardon, Erdogan never fails to mention Kashmir as an issue on which the United Nations should be deliberating, apart from, of course, Pakistan that does it religiously every year. So that really gives you an idea of the kind of this Islamic linkage on which Turkey has been working with Pakistan, as part of which it decided perhaps to very publicly and openly support Pakistan militarily. Hopefully it would be taken up by our Indian government also, given the fact that the agencies have now incontrovertible evidence of Turkey's military help to Pakistan, not just by way of military equipment, which is, as I said, can be accepted, but that their experts, technical experts, civil contractors were also there on the ground along with Pakistani forces. 2 of them have been killed, possibly there were more, and that's something which Istanbul or Ankara also has to explain.